Have you ever wondered why some people are drawn to opportunities while others remain mediocre? Napoleon Hill taught that success is not a distant goal. It is a reflection of who you are on the inside. It is not about chasing wealth or recognition, but about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts them. Hill studied the greatest people of his time and found that they all had one thing in common. They worked on their thinking, acted with purpose, and persevered in the face of adversity. They were not superhumans. They were ordinary people making extraordinary decisions. Today, you too can begin this journey. It all starts with changing the way you think and act. The first principle Napoleon Hill emphasized was the abundance mentality. Hill said that your thoughts are the seed of your reality. If you focus on scarcity, what is missing, or obstacles, your mind will lead you to more of the same. But if you develop an abundance mindset, seeing the opportunity in every problem, your life will begin to change. Hill told the story of Edwin S. Barnes, a man with no resources or connections who dreamed of working with Thomas Edison. Barnes didn't have the money to travel to New Jersey, but his belief in opportunity led him to hop on a freight train. When she met Edison, she didn't ask him for a job. He boldly declared that he would be his partner. This abundance mentality, combined with action, allowed him to become the exclusive distributor of Edison's dictatorship machine, amassing a fortune. Hill would say, "What the mind can conceive and believe, it can accomplish." Ask yourself, are you thinking big or letting fear limit your dreams? Specific action is another pillar of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. It's not enough to dream. You must take specific steps toward your goals. Hill taught that success is like building a house. Every brick counts. For example, Henry Ford survived 2 business failures before he founded the Ford Motor Company in 1903. His vision of an affordable automobile for the masses seemed impossible, but Ford didn't wait for perfect conditions. He developed a plan, took action, and adjusted his strategy until he revolutionized the automobile industry. Hill suggested breaking your goals down into daily steps. If you want to start a business, start today. Write down an idea, research your market, or seek a mentor. Every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Hill called this the principle of specific action. What one step can you take today to move you closer to your dream? According to Napoleon Hill, discipline is the glue that binds your dreams to reality. He observed that successful people like Andrew Carnegie relied not on motivation, which is fleeting, but on discipline, which is constant. Carnegie meticulously planned out his day, ensuring that every hour brought him closer to achieving his goals. Hill suggested developing simple habits that reinforce discipline, such as waking up at the same time every day, reading 10 pages of an inspirational book a day, or writing down your goals every morning. These small actions add up to create unstoppable momentum. Hill described how Carnegie built the steel industry into an empire because he never wavered from his priorities. Consider, are your daily habits aligned with your goals? Hill would say, that success is the sum of what you do consistently, not what you do occasionally. Resilience is another central theme in Napoleon Hill's work. He knew that the path to success was full of obstacles, but he insisted that these were not obstacles, but lessons. Hill admired Abraham Lincoln, who lost several elections and endured personal tragedies before becoming President of the United States in 1861. Lincoln saw failures not as endings, but as steps toward his destiny. Hill taught that resilience is built by reframing failures. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This simple question gives you power over your circumstances. Hill suggested analyzing each failure. What went wrong? How can I improve? For example, when Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb, each attempt brought him closer to the solution. How do you deal with your failures? Hill would say that every failure is an opportunity to become stronger. According to Napoleon Hill, your environment is critical. He coined the concept of a mastermind, a group of people who share your vision and push you forward. Hill observed that great leaders like Henry Ford surrounded themselves with people who challenged and complimented them. Ford was not an engineer, but he assembled the best people to build his automobile empire. Hill advised seeking out mentors, colleagues, or friends who inspire you to grow. Ask yourself, who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Do they lift you up or hold you back? Hill would say that your environment shapes your thinking and therefore your destiny. If you want to improve your life, improve your social circle. If you enjoyed this journey through the wisdom of Napoleon Hill, please click subscribe. It's free and you have no excuse not to join this community committed to Hill's principles. Show that you're ready to change your life. Self-belief is another fundamental pillar of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. He believed that without a deep belief in your abilities, no dream can come true. Hill shared how he himself had to overcome doubts to write Think and Grow Rich. When Carnegie commissioned him to study the leaders of his time, Hill had no experience as a writer, but he believed in his potential. This belief led him to devote 20 years to his research. Hill suggested building belief through small victories. Set a modest goal, achieve it, and use that success to build your confidence. For example, if you want to improve your health, make it a rule to walk 20 minutes a day. Each day your belief in yourself will grow. Hill would say, faith is the starting point of all achievement. What small victory can you achieve today to build your confidence? According to Napoleon Hill, burning desire is the fuel of success. He taught that it is a strong, almost obsessive desire that makes people overcome any obstacle. Hill told the story of his son Blair, who was born without functioning ears. Despite everything, Hill decided to help him learn to listen and speak, using visualization and consistent actions. This burning desire led to miraculous results. Hill suggested identifying a goal that you are so passionate about that you cannot imagine your life without achieving it. Write it down, visualize it, and try to work on it every day. What is your deepest desire? Hill would say that when your desire is strong enough, nothing can stop you. Autosuggestion is a powerful tool that Napoleon Hill talked about. He believed that you can program your subconscious by repeating affirmations with emotion. For example, if you want to become a leader, repeat to yourself daily, I am a confident leader who inspires others. Hill explained that the subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and imagination, so by repeating these affirmations, your mind begins to act as if you already are that person. Hill gave the example of Edwin S. Barnes, who constantly told himself that he would become Edison's partner, long before it actually happened. How can you use autosuggestion? Write out a clear affirmation, read it out loud twice a day, and feel the joy of achieving it. Hill would say that this practice plants the seeds of success in your mind. Patience is another principle that Napoleon Hill valued. He knew that success takes time, and that impatience can cause you to give up before you even achieve it. Hill told the story of Britain's Derby, who left a gold mine just yards away from a major discovery because he lost faith. Hill taught that active patience, consistently working with trust in the process, is critical. For example, if you're building a business, don't expect instant results. Focus on improving 1% each day. Hill would say, success is often one step away from persistence. Do you patiently pursue your goals, or do you give up when you don't see immediate results? Creativity is another topic that Napoleon Hill considered essential. He distinguished between synthetic imagination, which integrates existing ideas, and creative imagination, which generates new ideas. Hill admired Henry Ford, who used his imagination to create the assembly line that transformed automobile manufacturing. Hill suggested setting aside time to dream without limits. For example, if you want to solve a problem at work, ask yourself questions like, what if there were no limits? How would you do this in a completely new way? Hill would say that your imagination is your greatest asset. How can you become more creative today? Continuous learning is at the core of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. He observed that great leaders like Andrew Carnegie never stopped learning. Carnegie had no formal education, but became an expert by studying books, watching others, and applying what he learned. Hill advised spending at least an hour a day learning something that will move you closer to your goals. This could be reading a leadership book, listening to a podcast about finance, or taking an online course. Hill would say, applied knowledge is power. What are you learning today that will make you better tomorrow? Collaboration is another key principle of Napoleon Hill. He believed that no one achieves success alone. His concept of the mastermind involves collaborating with people who share your vision. Hill described how Ford brought together engineers and financiers to build his empire. Hill advised finding allies who complement your skills. For example, if you are creative but disorganized, find a methodical partner. Hill would say that a brilliant mind multiplies your results. Who are your allies on the road to success? According to Napoleon Hill, time management is critical. He taught that time is the most valuable resource and that it should be used wisely. Hill admired Carnegie, who clearly prioritized his daily tasks. Hill suggested the top 6 method. Each night, write down 6 key tasks for the next day and focus on them. Hill would say success is doing the right thing, not doing more. Are you using your time to achieve your goals or wasting it on distractions? Humility is a value Napoleon Hill saw in great leaders. He noticed that people like Carnegie didn't brag about their accomplishments, but kept learning. Hill suggested practicing humility by admitting your mistakes and learning from them. For example, if a project fails, don't blame others. Analyze what you can do better. Hill would say that humility is the path to wisdom. Are you willing to learn from your mistakes? Generosity is another principle that Hill found transformative. He believed that sharing creates abundance. Carnegie donated much of his fortune to libraries and education, proving that true success involves influencing others. Hill suggested doing one act of generosity every day, such as sharing knowledge or helping someone. Hill would say, what you give away comes back multiplied. How can you be more generous today? Honesty is at the core of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. He taught that success without integrity cannot be sustained. Hill admired Carnegie for always keeping his word. Hill suggested aligning your actions with your values, even when no one is watching. For example, if you promise to deliver a project on time, do it, even if it takes effort. Hill would say, your reputation is your greatest asset. Are you acting with integrity? Personal initiative is another theme that Hill highlighted. He believed that successful people do not wait for instructions. They create their own opportunities. Hill recounted how a young man impressed Carnegie by making a bold proposal. Hill suggested taking action now, even in small steps. For example, if you want to start a business, write down the idea today. Hill would say, tomorrow belongs to those who act today. What initiative can you take now? Tolerance is a value that Napoleon Hill admired in leaders like Lincoln, who brought people together through empathy. Hill suggested that tolerance be practiced by listening to different opinions without judgment. It enriches your perspective and strengthens your relationships. Hill would say that tolerance is a bridge to cooperation. Are you open to other people's ideas? According to Napoleon, Hill's strategic planning is essential. He taught that a clear and flexible plan is the key to success. Hill admired Ford, who developed a plan to produce affordable cars, but adjusted it as challenges arose. Hill suggested breaking down your goals into daily steps and reviewing them regularly. Hill would say, better an imperfect plan that is implemented than a perfect plan that is never implemented. What is your strategic plan? According to Napoleon Hill, gratitude on a deeper level is a magnet for success. He suggested keeping a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things a day that you are grateful for, including future goals as if you have already achieved them. Hill believed that gratitude changes your energy and attracts more blessings. Hill would say, a grateful heart attracts abundance. Are you actively practicing gratitude? Constructive self-criticism is another principle of Napoleon Hill. He taught that successful people assess their weaknesses without fear. Hill suggested weekly reflection. What did I do well? What can I improve? For example, if a project went wrong, analyze what was within your control. Hill would say, know yourself to achieve your goals. Are you honest with yourself? Positive energy is key to Napoleon Hill's philosophy. He believed that your attitude attracts similar circumstances. Hill admired Ford for remaining optimistic in the face of adversity. Hill advised surrounding yourself with positive stimuli such as inspiring books or ambitious people. Hill would say, Your energy is your signal to the universe. What do you do to keep your energy high? Persistence is perhaps Napoleon Hill's most important principle. He believed it was what separated successful people from dreamers. Hill told the story of one writer who persisted after years of rejection until her book became a success. Hill suggested stopping in the face of obstacles, assessing the situation and finding a new path. Hill would say, "Success is one step away from persistence." Are you persistent? Creative visualization is another powerful tool of Napoleon Hill. He taught that imagining your success in vivid detail programs your mind to achieve it. Hill told how Barnes saw himself as Edison's partner, and it motivated him to take action. Hill advised spending 5 minutes a day visualizing your goal as if it were already real. Hill would say, "What you see in your imagination, you create in your reality." Are you visualizing your success? Clarity of purpose is at the core of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. He believed that without a clear purpose, your efforts will have no direction. Hill suggested asking yourself, "What am I passionate about? What impact do I want to leave?" Hill said that Carnegie had a clear purpose: to democratize the steel industry. That purpose led him to greatness. Hill would say, "A clear purpose is your compass." What is your purpose? According to Napoleon Hill, mass action is the bridge between dreams and reality. He taught that great achievements begin with imperfect steps. Hill admired the Wright brothers, who, despite ridicule, took action and built the first airplane in 1903. Hill said, "Success belongs to those who act now." What action can you take today? Adaptability is another key principle of Napoleon Hill. He observed that leaders like Ford adapt to change. Hill advised being open to new ideas and learning from mistakes. For example, when Ford faced the Great Depression, he adjusted his strategy and emerged stronger. Hill would say, "Adapt or be left behind." Are you embracing change? Empathy is a value Napoleon Hill saw in great leaders. He believed that understanding others strengthens your relationships and your leadership. Hill suggested practicing active listening, paying attention to the other person without interrupting. Hill would say, "Empathy builds bridges to success." Are you really listening to others? According to Napoleon Hill, consistency is the key to success. He taught that small daily steps yield huge results. Hill admired Edison, who tried thousands of ideas before inventing the light bulb. Hill suggested creating a daily routine that will help you achieve your goals, such as reading 10 pages a day. Hill would say, "Consistency makes dreams come true." Are you consistent? Personal responsibility is another principle of Napoleon Hill. He believed that blaming others disempowers a person. Hill suggested taking responsibility for your results, even if you fail. For example, if a project doesn't work, think about what you can control. Hill would say, "Your life is your creation." Are you taking responsibility for your destiny? According to Napoleon Hill, curiosity is the driving force behind success. He noted that leaders like Edison were insatiably curious. Hill suggested constantly asking questions. How can I improve my results? What can I learn? Hill would say, "Curiosity opens doors." Are you being curious on your way to success? Another value that Napoleon Hill emphasized was authenticity. He believed that being true to yourself attracts respect and trust. Hill advised aligning your actions with your values and not pretending to be someone you are not. Hill would say, "Authenticity is your superpower." Are you authentic? According to Napoleon Hill, gratitude in its deepest form is a transformative practice. He suggested writing down not only what you have, but also what you hope to achieve, as if it were already real. Hill believed that this programs your mind for success. Hill would say, "Gratitude is the magnet of abundance." Are you grateful for your future? According to Napoleon Hill, a long-term vision is critical. He taught that great leaders think in decades, not days. Hill admired Carnegie, who planned his legacy long before he amassed his fortune. Hill suggested imagining where you want to be in 10 years and working from there. Hill would say, "Success is a marathon, not a sprint." What is your long-term vision? Emotional resilience is another topic that Napoleon Hill explored. He believed that controlling emotions during difficult Times gives a person strength. Hill advised practicing calmness in stressful situations, such as taking deep breaths during stressful situations. Hill would say, control your emotions, control your destiny. Are you in control of your emotions? Positive influence is a principle that Hill valued. He believed that inspiring others increases your success. Hill suggested leading by example, demonstrating integrity and enthusiasm. Hill would say, your influence creates a domino effect. Are you inspiring others? Simplicity is another concept that Napoleon Hill championed. He taught that success requires no complications. Hill suggested simplifying your goals and focusing on what matters most. For example, instead of 20 tasks, choose the 3 most important ones. Hill would say, simplicity is the key to effectiveness. Are you simplifying your path? Gratitude for failure is a unique approach of Napoleon Hill. He believed that every mistake contains a valuable lesson. Hill suggested analyzing your failures with curiosity, not guilt. Hill would say, in every failure there is a seed of success. Do you learn from your mistakes? Authenticity in relationships is another principle of Napoleon Hill. He believed that authentic connections create trust. Hill advised being honest and vulnerable with others. Hill would say, authentic relationships are the foundation of success. Are you building authentic connections? According to Napoleon Hill, clarity of mind is crucial. He taught that a cluttered mind leads to bad decisions. Hill advised practicing meditation or writing to organize your thoughts. Hill would say, a clear mind creates a clear future. Are you keeping your mind focused? According to Napoleon Hill, immediate action is the hallmark of winners. He believed that procrastination robs us of opportunities. Hill suggested acting. Within the first 24 hours of an idea, Hill would say, now is your greatest advantage. What can you do right now? Being grateful for progress, no matter how small, is another Napoleon Hill principle. He taught that celebrating small accomplishments keeps you motivated. Hill suggested writing down your daily victories, such as completing a task. Hill would say, every step counts. Are you celebrating your progress? Shared vision is a concept that Hill explored in his book, Mastermind. He believed that teaming up with others to achieve a common goal multiplies your impact. Hill suggested finding partners with similar values. Hill would say, together we go further. Are you collaborating toward a goal? The authenticity of your purpose is another Napoleon Hill theme. He believed that authentic purpose gives clarity and strength. Hill suggested reflecting, is this really what I want? Hill would say, true purpose is unshakable. Are you doing what you love? According to Napoleon Hill, being resilient in the face of criticism is crucial. He taught that criticism is inevitable, but it shouldn't stop you. Hill suggested evaluating criticism objectively and using it to grow. Hill would say criticism is a teacher in disguise. Are you using criticism to your advantage? According to Napoleon Hill, the key to success is consistency. He believed that small steps, taken every day, produce huge results. Hill suggested setting a fixed schedule to achieve your goals. Hill would say, consistency is your superpower. Are you consistent every day? Gratitude for opportunities, even small ones, is another Napoleon Hill principle. He taught that viewing each open door as a blessing attracts more. Hill suggested writing down every opportunity that comes your way. Hill would say, gratitude opens doors. Are you grateful for the opportunities you've been given? According to Napoleon Hill, clarity in communication is crucial. He believed that expressing your ideas clearly instills confidence. Hill suggested practicing clear communication, such as writing down your thoughts before speaking. Hill would say clear words create a clear future. Are you communicating your thoughts clearly? Another Napoleon Hill theme is courageous action. He taught that the courage to act, even in fear, is what distinguishes winners. Hill suggested today that we take a bold step, such as reaching out to someone powerful. Hill would say, courage creates opportunity. Are you courageous? Gratitude for learning is Napoleon Hill's final principle. He believed that every lesson, even the most painful, is a gift. Hill suggested reflecting on what you have learned. Each week, Hill would say, learning is the fuel of success. Are you grateful for your lessons? As you conclude this journey through the wisdom of Napoleon Hill, remember that success is not a destination. It is a way of life. Each principle, thinking, doing, discipline, perseverance, faith, desire, self-hypnosis, patience, creativity, learning, collaboration, time, humility, generosity, honesty, initiative, tolerance, planning, gratitude, self-criticism, energy, persistence, visualization, purpose, adaptability, empathy, consistency, responsibility, curiosity, authenticity, vision, emotional resilience, influence, simplicity, clarity, courage, is a tool for becoming the kind of person who attracts success. Hill taught us that privilege is not needed. You need commitment. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Subscribe to receive more useful messages and comments. Target. If this thought has changed your outlook on work forever, see you soon.